after getting sick, have you ever wondered who you'd been around that got you sick? That maybe you caught a cold from or the flu? Have you ever wondered what you'd touched that got you sick or what you'd been using lately? Today we're going to discuss a couple common objects that carry very dangerous bacteria and ways that you can avoid the bacteria and prevent getting sick from them. The first object that we're going to discuss are cell phones. Cell phones carry very dangerous bacteria. If you're like me, you carry your cell phone with you almost everywhere. And then when you come home from a long day, maybe of work or school, you set it on the counter next to where you're cooking. Maybe you set it down on your baby's change table while you're changing diapers even. If you're like me, you even have it right next to you when you're in bed at night, right on your nightstand. So very close to you at all times. On October 18th, 2010, CBS News wrote that cell phones are covered with 18 times more bacteria than a toilet handle. Let that sink in for just a moment. 18 times more bacteria than a toilet handle. That's a lot of bacteria. Their medical correspondent, Dr. Ashton, commented that people can catch the cold, the flu virus, E. coli, and even norovirus. Norovirus is a virus that can cause flu-like symptoms with fever, diarrhea, vomiting, severe indigestion. 30% of viruses can be transferred from cell phone screens to your fingers. Now, if you're wondering how to prevent getting ill from your cell phone, there are a few ways. The same CBS News report mentions that there are special wipes available, such as Clorox wipes, or electronic stores even sell certain wipes that you can wipe the screen of your cell phone and the back of your cell phone as well. Hand washing and keeping your hands off your face are also very important techniques to be able to prevent getting sick from cell phones. Next, purses carry very dangerous bacteria. Michelle Sheplick cited a study in her article, Your Purse's Dirty Little Secret, done by microbiologists in Wisconsin. The microbiologists went out and swabbed the bottoms of women's purses all over the place, in malls, restaurants, movie theaters even, and discovered that the majority of purses carry bacteria that can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and even fever. According to Sheplick's article, doctors recommend not placing your purse on the floor when you're at the restaurant or at the movie theater. Set it on the chair next to you. And also Clorox wipes. They recommend weekly Clorox wiping the bottom of your purse, just to ensure that you kill that bacteria that lives on the bottom of your purse after you'd maybe set it on the ground. Also, do not set your purses on your kitchen counters next to where you prepare dinner when you arrive home from work or school. The next object that I want to discuss that carries very dangerous bacteria are restaurant menus. On December 30th, 2010, Good Morning America writer Elizabeth Leamy wrote in her article, Dining Out, do you know which restaurant tabletop item is germier than a toilet seat? She wrote about 12 scientists that went out all around New York City area and swabbed 12 restaurant menus and found out that menus carry the most germs out of any other object that sits on the tabletops at restaurants. That included things like the salt and pepper shaker, your ketchup and mustard bottles, and even the tabletop itself. Restaurant menus carried the number one amount of bacteria. Number two was the pepper shaker, because everybody, when they go into a restaurant, has to look at a restaurant menu. Not everybody uses the pepper, though. On these restaurant menus, the average number of bacteria was 185,000 bacteria. That's 16 times dirtier than the next object, which was the pepper shaker. Dr. Oz also sent some of his staff members out for his show to 7 different restaurants, swabbed 7 different menus. 7 out of 7 came back with fecal bacteria such as E. coli and streptococcus, which can cause pneumonia. For prevention, Dr. Oz suggests holding your menu high so you don't die. Most people hold their menus down here. If you hold it up here, less chance of getting those dangerous germs on your hands. Another great tip is after you order and you've looked at the menu and all that, go to the bathroom and wash your hands before your food comes back to your table so that you're eating with clean hands again. Next, hot tubs. Hot tubs can cause skin infections, anywhere from skin infections to STDs. These can be very dangerous bacteria, obviously, with STDs, and it's not all STDs, just some of them. Human papilloma virus can be transmitted in just a hot tub. That's very important for women primarily to know that. In a study done by Dr. Rita Moye, she stated that nearly all hot tubs that she sampled had some microbial growth. 95% of them had fecal bacteria, 81% had fungi, and 34% had staphylococcus, which can cause major skin rashes and irritations if you have a cut or a scrape. If you get staphylococcus in that cut or scrape, that can turn into a very severe infection. So very important to know. Now for prevention, an article by Andy Humphrey called Hot Tub Illnesses, he suggests not dunking your head underwater. You don't want to get that water that is dirty, has all these germs in it, in your mouth or your nose or your ears or even in your eyes for that matter. Shower before you get in the hot tub to eliminate any of that bacteria that you might be carrying so you don't get it into that water, and shower after you get out of the hot tub to wash off anything that you might have picked up while you're sitting in the hot tub. Another very important thing to do is take that swimsuit off as soon as possible when getting out of a hot tub. Bacteria like warm, wet areas. So just by taking that swimsuit off, you can eliminate chances of catching any sort of skin rash or infection that way. In conclusion, we've learned today that you can get sick from some very common objects that are around us every day and very often. Cell phones, purses, restaurant menus, and hot tubs are all places that carry very dangerous bacteria. In addition to learning about these objects and places that carry the bacteria, we also learned some great tips to prevent, avoid, and kill the bacteria. And I hope that you continue to wash your hands because that is the #1 way to prevent getting sick or catching any illnesses. Thank you.